Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse where I will be throughout the night. Polls close in just under an hour, and after that, ballots will be showing up here to be counted. Now, I'm here with the chairperson of the Douglas County Republicans, Kathy Amel. Kathy, what are you hearing from the polls today? Is it going to be a good year for the Republicans?
I'm really hopeful about it because I spent the morning as a poll agent in some Eudora precincts and was very impressed with the turnout, and it appeared to be about a 3-to-1 Republican turnout.
Is there one race locally that Republicans feel like they have a good shot of taking?
I really feel like we have had some of the best candidates in Echo Van Meeteren and in Meredith Ritchie.
Okay. So is it going to be a good year for the Republicans overall, do you think?
I think so, yes.
All right, well, good luck to you guys. I'm going to be checking in live here throughout the night with as election results come in. But for now, Stephanie, back to you in the studio. Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse where ballots are coming in as we speak. Now, we do have the unofficial results for the advanced voting, which was a record, nearly 30,000 advanced voters. And right now with me, I have the Democratic nominee for Senate in the 2nd District, Marcy Francisco, where, advanced voting favored you heavily, 77 to 22. Is advanced voting, early voting, is that something that your campaign kind of pushed or worked on?
Certainly the Democrats in Douglas County worked a lot on advance voting to make sure when we talked to people that we asked if they'd like an advance ballot to say this is going to make it easier for us to get out the vote on Election Day. So I believe about half of the advance ballots came in from people who are registered as Democrats. But I still did pretty well with independents and probably a few Republicans.
You can't really argue with that margin, at least for now. Obviously, these are unofficial, and we still have more to go, and we still have other counties, at least for you as well. But how are you feeling with these initial numbers?
I'm very pleased to see these initial numbers. I know that these are the people who advance vote are people who are interested in politics. They probably have an idea of who they want to vote for. They're ready to do that, but I was very pleased to see that they appreciate what I've done as their senator, and they're asking me back.
All right, awesome. And of course, these are unofficial for now, but thank you so much for talking with us, and good luck. We'll be joining you live throughout the night here at the Douglas County Courthouse. I'm James Ryan Roberts, but for now, Stephanie, back to you in the studio. Stephanie, I'm live at the Douglas County Courthouse where the latest round of ballots have just come in. Just on the other side of this door, ballots are being counted, and candidates are receiving periodical results throughout the night. Now, those results are being projected onto a screen out here in the rotunda, and as you can see, some races are still at just only 50% coming in, with Kim Carlskint and Kara Reed at 50% coming in, and the same for Terry Mannies and Tom Sloane. So it's still going to be, looks like, a pretty long night here at the Douglas County Courthouse. We'll all be checking back in as results come in. But for now, Stephanie, back to you in the studio. Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse with Nancy Fellman, County Commissioner in the 2nd District, who just retained her seat, 66% of the vote. Still unofficial results, but all precincts coming in. How does it feel?
Well, it's a relief, Anytime you've got an opponent, you take it seriously, which I did, and so it's a lot of hard work. And I'm glad to be at this point at a good result. I'm happy to be back at the county for 4 more years, and look forward to getting back to work for sure.
And we've spoken before and talked about that. You said that the county commission, that's one of the most important elections when it comes to impact in voters' daily lives. Why is that?
It's such an underappreciated commission. On the one hand, it's great because we kind of fly under the radar. We can get our work done without a lot of headlines and attention. On the other hand, folks need to know we exist because we actually touch their lives almost every day through property taxes, through basic social services, through public safety, public health. Mental health is huge right now for the county. We're working hard to try and improve those services. countywide to really step things up. And we do fire and medical, we do roads and bridges. My gosh, roads and bridges, you don't even think about them, but the county, out in the county roads and the county bridges, a tremendous amount of maintenance and upkeep and really keeping things in excellent condition. And it's not glamorous, but it's important, and that's what the county does.
And you mentioned mental health, and obviously the mental health court and jail expansion were a key issue within this race.
Right.
Now, as retaining your seat and obviously getting the chance to talk to voters through voter forums and just getting out there and talking to voters, how do you feel now about that measure?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I talked to lots and lots and lots of people, both at their door on their front porch, one by one, over cups of coffee, or in front of hundreds of people at forums. And it's certainly not, it's not an issue that's been exhausted by any means, but I really do believe there are plenty of folks out in the county who understand the urgent need for changes at the jail and the urgent need for community mental health crisis center. When you have a chance to talk to people in detail, to share all of the facts, to separate the national conversation about criminal justice reform from the local conversation, it really makes a difference. So that's my commitment, is to keep having those conversations, keep letting folks know what the real story is, let the special interest groups do what they want to do, and the county's going to work hard on its message as we, learn more and more and keep working hard. It's the conversation has to keep going, and I'm anxious to do that.
And I'm sure we'll have many more conversations about that as those measures eventually will come to a public
Right.
vote. But for now, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
And thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
We're live here at the Douglas County Courthouse, and we will be as more results come in. But for now, Stephanie, back to you in the studio.
Good evening and welcome back to 6 News, and our special election coverage will now go live out to James Ryan Roberts, who is live at the Douglas County Courthouse. Good evening.
Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse, where all races have been called, all precincts are in, and I'm here with Michelle DeRusso, once Republican nominee for the 3rd District of the County Commission, and now County Commissioner. Michelle, how does it feel?
It's a relief, James. I mean, it's been a rough 12 months. It's a lot of knocking on doors and going to meetings, but it paid off, and I'm really excited to finally get the opportunity to serve the citizens of Douglas County.
And you were here earlier on in the night, and the early voting numbers, they weren't kind of going in your favor. Were you worried?
Well, I knew that I was going to be down when the advanced voting numbers came out, but I knew that would change as the evening went on. I just hoped that I wasn't in too deep of a hole when it started. So.
And a close race, definitely, 51 to 47. I guess, what are you looking forward to, most kind of tackling in the Douglas County Commission?
Well, I mean, as everybody knows, the big issue that's out there right now is the jail and the mental health crisis center. And so I know that that's going to be a focus, but we have to remember everything else that's going on in the county, and it's probably going to be a little overwhelming at first, but I know that I've got some great people with Commissioner Gahn and Commissioner Fellman that are going to show me the way. So I have a couple of months to work with them while I can, and work with Commissioner Flory, and it's going to be a busy 2 months.
And we'd spoken earlier, and I know that you were focusing a lot on sort of the rural Douglas County, making sure you went out to those townships. Do you think that kind of helped push you forward? Because honestly, it was a very close race.
I haven't seen the numbers, but yes, I'm hoping that made a difference, and that was my focus. A lot of people in Lawrence are familiar with me, but I really needed to meet some people and build some relationships outside of the city of Lawrence, and I think I did that, and I think that's probably what carried me over.
Well, congratulations, and have a good night and a sigh of relief.
Yes. I can breathe now after 12 months. So.
Definitely. All right, Stephanie, we're going to head back to you in the studio. I'm James Ryan Roberts, live from the Douglas County Courthouse. Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse with Representative Tom Sloane with the 45th District, who just won his seat again. Tom, how does it feel?
Oh, it always feels good, and particularly because people had to really make an effort to vote for me. If you look at the votes for the presidential race, the congressional races, the Democrats were doing very, very well in Douglas County and in the 45th district. So I appreciate the fact that a majority of voters looked at me, liked my record, liked what I do, and supported me.
Yeah, and you are a Republican in what is considered a stereotypically Democratic part of the state. I guess, how have you been able to, do you think, hold on in what is considered a blue part of Kansas?
I think it's a number of things. Certainly, I think most people like the way I vote. I mean, I try not to be a Republican or a Democrat, but to be someone who reflects the values of our community. And then I spend a lot of time communicating. I mean, whether that's door to door during elections or maintaining an active newsletter, audience, and getting word out about, how I'm listening to them, how I'm acting on their behalf, and how I'm acting on the long-term best interests of our community and state.
And you've been in Topeka for a good amount of time now, something that actually your opponent was kind of using as a jab, something that's been done at politicians who have been in office for a number of years now. Were you worried at all going into tonight?
I'm always worried because you're not sure whether the voters are actually paying attention to your record or such. But in terms of the question of my longevity, I looked at it and said 11 times, now 12 times, the voters have said, Tom Sloane's the person we want to have represent us. So, I'm very proud of it. I think that the career politician may be applicable in a state like Pennsylvania or New York where it's a full-time job and they make, six-figure salaries. Kansas is a part-time legislature. It's kind of hard to be a professional politician.
All right. And, okay, so coming into the next legislative session, there will be all new legislators. I guess, what are you, or the potential for all new legislators, what are you looking forward to, I guess, most tackling? Obviously, there's been revenue issues in the state, school finance. What are you hoping to tackle in 2017?
Well, I think the first thing we're going to have to do is expand Medicaid. And then the second will be to revisit the failed income tax reforms and reinstate taxes on the businesses now that are no longer paying, and as well as I think reinstate a third bracket for the higher earning Kansans in order to get sufficient revenues that we can then increase the aid for education at all levels, and that we can address the social safety net programs, mental health programs, things like that.
All right, all things that I'm sure we'll be talking about in the next few months. It's been a long campaign, but congratulations. You can breathe a little sigh of relief.
Yes, and Gail and I are going to take some time and get out of here and just unwind.
Take a little vacation?
Yes, we are.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm reporting live here at the Douglas County Courthouse with Representative Tom Sloane. Stephanie, back to you in the studio. Stephanie, I'm live here at the Douglas County Courthouse where it's been a relatively short night. The ballots have been cast, the precincts counted, and the races called. Now I'm here with the Douglas County Clerk, Jamie Hsu. Jamie, all of the races, in fact, were called before 9:30. Is that unusual here in Douglas County?
It really is, especially for a presidential. I really didn't expect many of the precincts to start showing up until about 9 o'clock. What we heard was there really weren't any lines, so they were able to do their processes and get in here. So it was pretty surprising that we were done that early.
And we've talked about record early voting, with the early voting total coming in just under 22,000. You've said before that doesn't necessarily fare as a record for the general. How did we turn out?
Well, it's true because our record is 55,000 in 2008, and I think we'll come in somewhere over 50,000, maybe closer to 51,000. So I think a lot of people just voted early in this election.
Is that kind of where you were expecting? Were you expecting a record turnout? What were you expecting coming into today's vote?
Well, my goal was 20,000 on advance, just to help us with lines on election day. And the sense that I got was that we would be a little bit like these 2012 numbers. So this is about where I thought we were going to be.
On a slightly lighter note, you were also running for your chair, and you won with 98% of the vote, so congratulations.
Yes, I'm very glad that I have the opportunity to serve for another 4 years.
All right, awesome. Things are wrapping up here at the Douglas County Courthouse where I'm reporting live. Stephanie, back to you in the studio.